In Dubai, there are people fighting the war on terror with cameras and microphones instead of guns and bombs. Correspondent Amy Kellogg has the story of a TV show with a life and death message.
This man played a role in the assassination of Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and was an associate of Ayman al-Zawahiri, but now very publicly criticizes the al-Qaeda No. 2's embrace of violent jihad. It is rare for an Arab TV show to take on terrorism, but that is what صناعة الموت, or death-making, does.
There are people who are brainwashed so they believe in terrorism, but there are also big sections of Muslims who sympathize with terrorists. We're targeting these people and trying to explain to them that terrorism is not a good thing.
The show, with its female host Rima Salha, airs weekly on one of the most watched pan-Arab satellite channels in the world, Al-Arabiya. Salha travels to meet jihadists like this man who trained fighters in Iraq. She lets them tell their stories, then chronicles the destruction they wreak, and analysts also chime in with commentary. Not surprisingly, it's a risky business.
They made threats against the people who work in the program, against the TV station as well.
An al-Qaeda-affiliated group in Iraq made this death threat to her, and Ayman al-Zawahiri singled out the show and its network in one of his diatribes against mass media.
It made a lot of problems for al-Qaeda, including divisions because they have different factions in al-Qaeda.
Salha looks at terrorism from all angles, including what happens to families of jihadists.
We also highlighted in the show the victims of terrorism, and when I say victims, I also include the terrorists themselves and their families, because they're victims of brainwashing and radical views.
The author of Old and New Terrorism, Peter Newman, says a show like this on an Arab channel is much more effective than it would be on Western TV.
From that point of view, this is a very positive development that is likely to have an impact and further undermine the credibility and legitimacy of organizations like Al-Qaeda.
Salha particularly hopes to make an impact on young people.
We want them to know that Islam is based on tolerance. Terrorism is not good for Muslims. It's harmful to their reputation and credibility.
Salha says though her show is called Death Making, she believes that its message ultimately has the opposite effect. In London, Amy Kellogg, Fox News.